Students, we have already covered the different milling cutters and drilling cutters in our previous class, and we have also discussed about the conversion formulas of ASA into ORS and ORS into ASA. Now coming to the next heading of the metal cutting module, we have got tool life and tool wear as well. So first of all, we will discuss about tool life. You already have an idea of the geometry of a tool, the various nomenclature of a tool. Now we would like to discuss a small thing, but very important thing. It is a tool life. From the name itself, it signifies that how long will a tool last. So look, it is very important one that you have a concept of a tool life, as because it will not only affect the surface finish, but also proper tool life will give you a lot more profit. Okay, now tool life represents the useful life of the tool. Okay, and it is generally expressed in time units from the start of a cut to some end point defined by a failure criterion. A tool that no longer performs the desired function is said to have failed and hence reached the end of its useful life. At such an endpoint, the tool is not necessarily unable to cut the workpiece, but is merely unsatisfactory for the purpose required. The tool may be resharpened and may be used again. In short, you can define that the tool life is the duration of actual cutting time after which the tool is no longer usable. Okay, and also the tool life is used to calculate the tool material performance and machinability of workpiece material. Now look, coming to the practical concept of tool life, you can define tool life as the time between two successive regrinding. You have to grind when the tools is blunt or not giving the proper cutting or surface finish. So the time between two successive regrind is known as the tool life in a simple words. Okay, now there are many what I say measurable quantities. Tool life can be specified by any of the different measurable quantities, like actual time cutting time to failure, length of work cut to failure, volume of metal removed to failure, number of components produced, cutting speed for a given time to failure. So all the various parameters suggested are related and are used depending upon the final function of a given operation. However, the problem normally faced is in the definition of the failure criterion. For example, if you consider a roughing operation, the surface finish and dimensional accuracy are of little consequence, as because we are performing the roughing operation. Therefore, excessive rise in cutting forces and the subsequent rise in power consumed will be of major importance and hence the failure criterion. Whereas for finishing operations, the reverse is also true. Sometimes in roughing operations, the tool will be allowed to complete failure, but this is to be avoided because of possible damage to work and tool as well. Therefore, just before this happens, the tool should be withdrawn and regrounded. Okay, regrind actually. Okay, now let us discuss about what is tool wear. In order to understand tool life wellly, you have to also consider the tool wear or tool failure as well, as this is directly linked with the tool life. Okay, so wear is the loss of material from the surface. As you can see, the wear means that the tool loses its volume and geometrical properties as well. Tool wear describes the gradual failure of cutting tools due to regular operations. Now, if the tool is not giving the satisfactory performance, then it is an indication of the tool failure. Okay. Now, factors affecting tool life. This is going to be very important, so you have to keep in mind and take note or screenshot, as these all the factors, that is cutting speed or feeder depth of cut, tool geometry, tool material, work material, nature of cutting, cutting fluids. These all are very, very important factors that affects the tool life. Okay. Now, based on tool wear, there are certain consideration failure criteria I must share with you. That is, the first is the chipping or fine cracks developing at the cutting edge. Then you can consider that the tool wear has already started. Wear land size. Land size is the very important. You have to keep in mind. Crater depth or width or other parameters, or combination of the above two. That is the crater depth and wear land size. Volume or weight of material worn off the tool, that also depends, affects this tool life. Total destruction of the tool. Now, based on consequences of worn out tool, we are getting limiting value of surface finish, limiting value of change in component size, fixed increase in cutting force or power required to perform a cut. Okay. Now, if you consider the main advantage of wear land as a failure criteria is that it is fairly easy to measure, and also it is directly proportional to the surface finish and cutting forces. But practically, it is not uniform on, and hence maximum. At high speeds and feeds, diffusion wear will be more, and as such the crater wear will also provide a failure criterion. So we will discuss in details the tool wear, where we will face the crater wear, flank wear as well. But the problem is with the measurement of the crater, that has to be scanned for maximum depth, which is laborious and time consuming. Total destruction criterion is easier to apply, but then there are associated problems, that is in carbides it may spoil the nearby edges, plus damage to work is also present. Therefore, a large wear land size can be equivalent to total construction. Alternatively, indirect methods are also mentioned, such as the fixed increase in the value of cutting force, or increase in the power consumed, or measured vibration, etc., can be used as an indication of the end of tool life. These are more generally used in CNC machine tools, where automatic tool life monitoring facilities are present over there. Okay. Now let us discuss simply the tool wear. It is the gradual failure of cutting tools due to regular operations is known as tool wear. Now, modes of cutting tool failures. First is the fracture failure. This mode of fracture failure occurs due to mechanical breakage due to excessive force and shocks at the tool point, causing it to fail suddenly by brittle fracture, also known as mechanical chipping. Such kind of tool failure is random and catastrophic in nature, results in premature loss of tool, and hence is extremely detrimental. Temperature failure. The failure occurs when the cutting temperature is too high for the tool material, causing the material at the tool point to soften, which also leads to plastic deformation and loss of the sharp edge. This type of failure also occurs rapidly, resulting in premature loss of tool, and is quite detrimental and unwanted. Now, there is a note given over here. It says both of the above kinds of tool failure need to be prevented by using suitable tool materials and geometry depending upon the tool material and cutting condition. Now, gradual wear. Gradual wearing of the cutting edge causes loss of tool shape, reduction in cutting efficiency, and acceleration of wearing as the tool becomes heavily worn, and finally tool failure in a manner similar to a temperature failure. Gradual wear is preferred because it leads to the longest possible use of the tool. Option of changing the tool before the final catastrophic loss of the cutting edge occurs when with the associated economic advantage of that longer use. Here is also a note is given: failure by gradual wear cannot be prevented but can be slowed down due to enhance the service life of the tool as well. Okay. So we have got Now let us discuss the is an important thing I must tell you, that is the Taylor's tool life equation in connection with the tool life. Okay, so this equation you have to keep in mind. You have to remember every time to solve numerical problems coming out of this tool life. Vt to the power n equal to constant. So you must take a screenshot of this one, which is very important. V is cutting speed meter per minute, T is tool life in minute, N is tool life index which depends on the tool material, C is machining constant. So everything is going to be very important, every nomenclatures. So you must remember all this in order to have solution of your numerical problems. There is also another one, but mainly problems are coming from this formula only, but you also have to remember this one also. Now Vt to the power n, F to the power a, T to the power b equal to constant. What happened? Similar to the previous formula, only F and T are incorporated in this particular formula, second formula, where F is the feed rate, T is the depth of cut in millimeter, feed is in millimeter per minute, A and B of constant which depends on the mechanical properties of the workpiece. So this is going to be the Taylor's tool life equation, and this slide is the most important in Taylor's tool life, as because most of the questions are coming out from these formulas only. Okay, so you must take a screenshot or you can note it somewhere else. Okay, now coming to the different wear, we know there is also a wear known as diffusion wear. So we'll actually, first of all, I will tell you the wait for a minute. Tool wear, we know actually there are three possible modes by which a cutting tool can fail in the machining. First is the fracture failure, when excessive cutting force leading to brittle fracture. Next is your temperature failure, when cutting temperature is too high. Next is your gradual wears, loss of tool shape and cutting efficiency resulting in gradual wearing of the cutting tool. So that is the main possible reasons coming out for the tool wear. Okay, now let me have this one: crater wear, flank wear and diffusion wear. Okay, now look, classification of tool wear. First is, look, this is also very important. They are going to be asking you MCQ questions on the flank wear or crater wear. These two are very important, very important. You must keep a note: flank wear and crater wear. Okay, there are also another one is localized wear, such as the rounding of a cutting edge or chipping of the cutting edge as well. But you must stick to this one. One is your flank wear and second is your crater wear. They are going to be asking you MCQ questions based on this flank wear and crater wear only, mainly. Okay, now previously I discussed with you that tools are subject to three factors, that is the forces, temperature and sliding action. Tool is going to wear. Okay, after continuous use for some time, tool gives unsatisfactory or inefficient performance. Okay, now let us okay, one more thing I would like to share with. Tool is replaced or reconditions usually by grinding only. As I earlier told you that tool life, practically you can say that it is a time between two successive regrinds, that what it is written over here. Okay, now tool wear depending factors are the type of the tool material and its hardness, type of condition of workpiece material, dimensions of cut, that is the feed and depth of cut, cutting speed, tool geometry, tool temperature, function of cutting speed. Now look, tool temperature, that is very important. You must take a note. It is function of cutting speed, that is V, then feed F and depth of cut as well, and also type of the cutting fluid as well, that is a coolant. Okay, now first we will discuss tool we will be discussing crater wear. Now look, crater wear, what happens in the face of the tool. Look, we have got, if you consider this as a tool, so this is the face, this one, and this side is the flank, this side is the flank. Okay, so crater wear takes place on the face and the flank wear in this side. Okay, Crater wear is due to the diffusion of abrasive particles, and flank wear is due to the wearing out. Okay, now abrasive forces, actually flank is for abrasive forces, you can also say. Okay, now the reasons of crater wear. So you must keep in mind that crater wear, where does it occurs? In the face. This is very important. They are going to be ask you question, where does this crater wear occurs? So you have to tell that on the face of the cutting tool crater wear takes place. And what is the region between the crater wear? Severe abrasion between chip and tool face, high temperature in the tool chip interface resulting in diffusion wear. So diffusion wear is the main reason for the crater wear. You have to keep in mind, that is a very important thing. Diffusion means movement of atoms between tool and chip material resulting in loss material from the face of the tool, that is the crater wear. Okay, now coming to the flank wear. Look, flank wear, where does flank wear take place? Flank wear take place on the flank side of a cutting tool. Okay, now abrasion by hard particles. As I earlier told you, you must keep in mind that two most important thing in relation to the tool life. First is the crater wear. Okay, so crater wear takes place at the face of the tool. And what is the reason? Reason is the diffusion. Okay, that is the crater wear. Next is your flank wear. Flank wear. Okay, now where does it take place? It takes place on the flank side of a tool, that is the lower portion of the tool. Okay, this is the flank. And what is the reason behind the flank wear? Is the abrasion of the particles. It may be chips. Okay, so abrasion by hard particles and inclusions in the workpiece. Abrasion is the process of scratching or rubbing work. That is the main reason behind the flank wear. Okay, now shearing of micro welds between tool and work material as well. So abrasion by fragments of built up edge blowing against the clearance face as well of the tool. Okay, now once again, just to remind you, that diffusion wear we already discussed about the crater wear. It is the diffusion of metal and carbon atoms from the tool surface into the workpiece and chip, and it is caused by the high temperature, high pressure, rapid flow of chip and workpiece past the tool. Diffusion rate depends on the metallurgical relationships as well, and it is very significant in carbide tools. So it is very significant, and it is also very significant for your MCQ purposes in your competitive examinations as well. Okay, so they might be asking you what type of wear generally found in carbide tools. So you have to go for this diffusion wear. This is a very important MCQ question. Okay, now apart from that, this tool life, as I earlier told you that there are many materials we are using as a tool, but the tool life mainly depends on, I must tell you, some of the factors that you need to know. It is very going to be important for your purposes, also examination purposes as well as competitive examination purposes. So tool life depends on cutting conditions, that is the feed, depth of cut. Okay, next is your tool geometry, how much is your angle of rake or clearance angle or relief angle, nose radius as well, then tool material, then cutting fluid also. So you can take a note. Okay, as because these all the factors, cutting speed, cutting conditions, that is the cutting speed or the feed or the depth of cut, they are all going to affect the tool life. Okay, then tool geometry, the angles, different angles of the 7 elements, that is the nose radius or back rake angle or side rake angle, clearance angles or relief angles, they are also going to affect the tool life as well. Next is your tool material. what is the tool material you are going to use, that is also very important. Okay, and cutting fluid is also important. So now one last thing I would like to share with you, that and coming to the tool life, actually what happens, increasing the rake angle decreases the cutting forces. That is the most valuable thing you have to keep in mind, that increasing the rake angle decreases the cutting forces and heat produced at the tool tip as well, and therefore increases tool life as well. But you have to keep in mind, increasing the rake angle to a large value reduces the tool material available at the tool tip for conducting heat generated, thus increasing the tool tip temperature. And eventually, if the tool tip temperature increases beyond a certain limit, the tool is going to fail very early. This would decrease the tool life. So, as I earlier told you, that 15 to 14 degree, maximum 14 to 15 degree is most optimum value of rake angle. You have to keep in mind if you want to have a decent tool life. If you go beyond this, then the tool tip temperature will eventually rise up, which will lead to the decrease of tool life. And if you go downwards, that is reducing the rake angle, then it will affect the surface finish as well. So you have to adhere to this particular range, okay, which is very much optimum. So I think tool life is and tool wear we have already discussed today. They are very important for your semester examinations as well as competitive examinations, and also the formulas that Vt to the power n equal to constant, and Vt to the power n, F to the power a, T to the power b. They are also going to be two formulas, F to the power n a and D to the power b. So these two formulas are very important for the solving of numericals coming out in university examinations as well as GATE examinations. Hope you have enjoyed today's class. In the next class, we will have some discussion on the different types of cutting tool materials as well as the cutting fluids as well. So thanks for watching.